Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Coach Matt, EliteThrowsCoaching.com, Primal Athlete Training Center here in Cranston, Rhode Island. So today we are coming to you to talk about week 3 of our in-season training. Believe it or not, it is Friday night and it is snowing outside up here in Rhode Island. So welcome to spring season. Here's a little bit more snow to dump on you. It looks like it's even going to snow next week. So a lot of you are realizing just how beneficial this early season training has been and why it is such a great thing early on in the season to work with the type of workouts, the type of training that we have been prescribing to you throughout the early parts of the spring season. So I know there's been a lot of more, I guess you could call it cardiovascular type work than you might be used to. But as I said before, this is really going to be the reset button for your athletes. This is going to get their bodies ready, get their work capacity a lot higher so that later on in the season, you can do a heck of a lot more work and they will not get fatigued. It's also going to allow you to peak a lot easier and get your athletes or get your team maybe a little bit smaller. You know, the guys and girls that are out there to get in shape, the guys and girls that are just there for social hour, more than likely they're going to be saying bye-bye after the past few weeks, and only the strong are going to survive. And that's kind of what you want to do as a coach. Is it fun? No, but you do need to do that, cut back on some fat, so to speak. So what we're going to do today is we are going to show you the day 1 and the day 2 workout for week 3. Now this is the last week of this structure of workouts. Things are going to change. You're still going to have your main squatting movement on day 1. You're still going to have your main bench press type movement on day 2. What follows those exercises are what we're going to show you today in the video. Now, the setup is still very kind of circuit based, but the way that the exercises are paired together, coupled together, the way that things flow is going to be much different than you've seen in the previous 2 weeks. So make sure, we've had a lot of people who have signed up this week. We've had a lot of people that signed up last week. And a lot of you may have missed week 1. Some of you are going to miss week 2. But this type of training is only for the first 3 weeks. Then we start to work on building more strength. And again, the workouts change. So for those of you that are still wanting to be part of the team, it is not too late. Make sure you go check out EliteThrowsCoaching.com. Click the tab that says sign up for the online team and get signed up, and you can get all of the workouts, the daily, what you should be doing for the week. All right, so Coach Anise is not here right now, so I'm going to be taking you through. Let's go ahead, get the camera turned around, and get you started on day 1. All right, so the first exercise on day 1 is a deficit kettlebell or a deficit dumbbell deadlift. So what you can see is that I'm standing on 2 mats. Now the 2 mats is going to give me just about 2 inches off the ground. Now some of your athletes are going to be able to go a little bit heavier. A little bit higher. Some of them are going to have to be a little bit lower. But we do want to create a little bit of a deficit, so they have to bend down and grab the kettlebells or the dumbbells, getting a little bit deeper. So we're going to just drive down. Again, same idea, but we're going to stand straight up, and you can see pulling from a much lower position than a regular suitcase deadlift. The next exercise that we're going to show you is a bent over row. Now we've done these before. Bent over row is going to start on the weak arm, and then we're going to move to doing it on the strong arm. So very simple, back nice and flat. You want to cue shoulders up, butt up, so that they're not hunched over. We're just going to pull straight back. Now notice I'm not using a ton of body English. The weight is heavy enough where we can do proper repetitions without using too much body English. So you're going to do bent over rows on the weak arm, bent over rows on the strong arm. The next exercise is a one-legged box squat. Now what you want to do is get on a bench or get on a box where you're at parallel. So the knee, top of the knee is equal to the hip. So you don't want it too high where they're barely sitting down, and you don't want it too low where it's going to be impossible. All you're going to do We're going to start on the weak leg. We're going to put the strong leg out. We're going to stand up. We're going to sit down and then stand back up again. Again, sets and reps are all going to be in the workout that you get on Sunday night. The next exercise that we are going to do is a recline row. The recline row is going to be with our feet elevated. So we've done these plenty of times before, but what you want to do, you want to get set up so that you've got the bar in the rack, and you've got your feet out on the bench. So it's a little bit more tricky than a regular recline row. Feet up, hips up, pull. Again, the amount of sets, the amount of reps are going to be right in the email. The last exercise on day one is a paused goblet squat. Now you can use kettlebells or dumbbells, but what we're going to do, we're going to grab the kettlebell or the dumbbell, we're going to sit down, pause. The amount of time that you want to hold it is in the workout. The amount of reps and the amount of sets is in the workout. So those are the exercises for day one. What you're noticing here is that all of these exercises use basic equipment, and all you really need is a power rack and a bar. That was my promise. We're not going to get too fancy. We're going to do what works to guarantee that you have the equipment there to get through these workouts. All right, now let's take you through the exercises for day two. Day two starts off with an incline dumbbell press. Now, hopefully we all have incline benches at our weight rooms. We all have dumbbells. Those are all pretty standard, basic stuff. Incline dumbbell press, again, the amount of sets, the amount of reps are going to be right in the workout that you receive on Sunday night. Real basic, pressing straight up to the ceiling. With your upper body at an incline. Pretty simple. Next exercise that we're going to do is a pull-up. Now, last week we did chin-ups. Chin-ups, the palms are facing your body. Pull-ups, the palms are facing away. Pretty simple. This rack here has two pull-up bars, a fat bar and a skinny bar. It really doesn't matter which one you use. You can also do pull-ups with your hands neutral, so your hands facing, palms facing each other. Whatever you want to do, doesn't really matter to me. But pull-ups, real simple. Pull the chin over the bar. Use a band if you need assistance, or have somebody give the 10 fingers and help your athletes get over. Again, the sets and the reps are in the workout. I would much rather see, say, 4 or 5 really good reps than 10 reps or however many reps where you're struggling and you're only doing partials. If they can't get the amount of sets or repetitions that are prescribed in the workout, do as many as they can with really good form. Now, new exercise for you, which is called a pin press. Now, pin press, you can see these cages have pins. So these are safety catches. A pin press is where you lower the bar down into the pin, take that second of rest, and then blast straight up. So let me just lower this bench, and we'll show that to you now. So again, these are going to be off my chest. The pin press, you're going to be maybe 2 or 3 inches off the chest. This is really to work on sticking point and locking out. Great for your throwers who need to get big extension at the end. Again, there's no weight on this. You want to put about the same amount of weight that they can do for, 6 to 8 reps. You should have already figured that out based on the previous few weeks. 6 to 8 reps on regular bench press, and we're going to do that for more repetitions today. And again, that's going to be right in the workout. So to show you pin press, we're going to bring the bar down. Again, it's about 2 inches off my chest, and then up. So very similar to a box squat or the one-legged box squats that we showed you earlier in this video. You want to just pause on the pins and then blast up. So there's not going to be very little elasticity. There's going to be very little stretch reflex coming off the chest. You're going to bring it down, pause and relax just for a split second, and then boom, explode up. Again, you want to use about the same amount of weight that you would use with a regular bench press. Again, we're just going to be doing a little bit more repetitions because we're not going full range of motion. All right. The last couple exercises to finish out day 2. The first exercise is going to be an upright row using either dumbbells or a kettlebell. So I'll show you a kettlebell. Now you can easily do these with dumbbells just by having a dumbbell in each hand, but we want the hands close, which is why I like using a kettlebell. We're going to drive straight up with the elbows and down. Up and down. Now you're going to notice I'm not using any legs, so I'm not bouncing and exploding into it. We're going to have nice, good posture, stomach tight, butt tight. I'm just going to drive straight up. Pretty simple. We're then going to move on to doing push-ups. These are just good, old-fashioned, regular, old-school push-ups. Everyone out there should know how to do those. Now, the last thing that we're going to finish with is going to be our ropes. So you see the ropes that are laid out behind us? Now, if you have ropes, that's great. If you don't have ropes, we can go on to burpees. So, last week we did burpees. This week we're going to do burpees as well. Again, no one likes burpees. Burpees suck. Let's face it. No one is a burpee fan. Nobody wants to do them, but they're great just to finish out the day. I love doing them with groups of athletes because they kind of suffer together. They become a team, and no one likes it. They start to cheer each other on. They start to get mad with each other, not at each other. And they become, they start to talk a lot more. They start to open up a lot more because they're kind of suffering through it. So if you don't have the ropes, we're going to go ahead and do burpees. Either one is going to be awful. Neither one is really that fun. But again, I love doing them just to increase the camaraderie of your athletes and kind of make them a little bit more of a unified team. All right, that does it from here. Day 1 and day 2 of the in-season workout, week 3 of our spring season. So make sure if you need any help, ask in the private Facebook group. If you have any questions, make sure to either click the link below and go to the Elite Throws Coaching website or email me, matt@primalatc.com. Talk to you soon.